Thinking about buying real estate in Boulder and the Mapleton Hill neighborhoods on your list? Well, here are 10 things you need to know, the good and the bad. Hey everyone, it's Osman with House Einstein, and I've been a realtor here in Boulder for nearly 20 years. We work with buyers and sellers. Our mission is to help our clients understand market conditions, neighborhood factors, due diligence, all to help you make a smarter real estate decision. First things first, Mapleton Hill is a historic district in Boulder with about 500 homes, most of which were originally developed in the late 1800s. These are among the most notable and iconic homes in Boulder, with prominent citizens as its first residents. The original developer planted about 200 maple and cottonwood trees, which today cast shadows on its wide streets, and along with the historic architectural styles, make it one of the most desirable neighborhoods in Boulder. Okay, let's talk about what's good. Number one, location. Mapleton is bounded by 4th Street on the west side, Broadway on the east side, Spruce Street on the south, and Concord on the north. It is one of the most desirable spots you can be in Boulder. You are close to pretty much everything you want to get to. Mount Sanitas, People's Crossing, Ideal Market, the great variety of shops and restaurants on Pearl Street, the Carnegie Library, and the Boulder Museum. Number two, historic preservation. What you see is what you get, and it's unlikely to ever change. Not only are the vast majority of homes in the neighborhood historic, they are inside a historic district as well. This keeps people from modifying the exteriors of their property and preserves the character of the neighborhood and the neighborhood aesthetic. Number three, economic incentives, state tax credits and preservation grants. When it comes time to make improvements to their properties, owners can pull on a variety of incentives that can help offset their costs. 4, community. From Porch Fest, a music festival of increasing popularity, to organized garage sales that draw attendees from across the county, this neighborhood is tightly knit and vibrant. Number 5, long-term investment performance. As they say in the investment world, past returns are not indicative of future results. But with that said, Mapleton has outperformed, not just for the last 20 years, I'm talking about the last 100 years. And I know that because we've started tracking and analyzing individual homes when they come up for sale as part of our newsletter on House Einstein. It's called Fresh Listings. You can easily sign up for it at houseeinstein.com. But believe me when I tell you, this neighborhood has performed incredibly well as a long-term investment asset. At House Einstein, when we look at homes, we don't just talk about what's good with a house. We're not trying to sell it to you. We want you to understand the pros and the cons. So let's talk about what's not so good, or what's even kind of bad about Mapleton Hill. Number 1, the Boulder premium and then some. People that live in this community are well used to being charged higher prices than they would pay for contractors to do work on their homes compared to other neighborhoods in Boulder County. Mapleton Hill has an additional second layer of cost. When contractors come to the door and give you estimates for paint work or other projects in your home, don't be surprised to find it costs 2 or 3 times what it might cost in other parts of town. Number 2, historic preservation. I know we talked about this as a pro, as a good thing. Now we're going to talk about the challenges of historic preservation. Mapleton Hill has a web of regulations that prevent modifications on the exterior of the home. Any changes require a landmarks alteration certificate. And even if your home isn't historic, it has to abide by the guidelines that were created for the district. This is not trivial. Paint colors are covered by those guidelines. A few years ago, one of the neighbors took down a dilapidated shed and put up a basketball court, and they found themselves in front of City Council. And despite the fact the neighborhood loved the basketball court and came out and forced to encourage City Council to allow it to stay, they were forced to put back a demolished, dilapidated shed. Number 3, believe it or not, traffic. In the past, Mapleton Hill has had very few traffic-related issues, but as Boulder's density continues to increase, particularly at the Academy, which has hundreds of units of senior housing, we're going to see a lot more traffic in this neighborhood. Now, most of that's going to be on Mapleton Avenue and 4th Street, but there absolutely will be lots of people that try to cut through the neighborhood itself to get through a little bit faster. So this will be an increasing impact in the coming year. Number 4, extremely limited inventory, and what does come available is often dilapidated and dated. Now, there's a couple of reasons for that. The biggest of which is that often these homes don't come to market, they are transferred to the next generation. And the next generation may not have the resources of their parents or grandparents, and so over time these homes tend to become more and more dated. And when they finally show up on market, well, they could have decades of neglect and deferred maintenance. Most of the homes, luckily, have seen their fieldstone foundations updated over time, but that doesn't take away from limited closet space, very little insulation, poor mechanical and plumbing systems. All of that can be corrected to some extent by a homeowner with a budget. But if they don't have the budget, which many of those that inherit these homes face, then what they are dealing with is a home that gradually over time declines. And because there's only about 500 homes in the neighborhood, people can wait for years for the right house to appear. Sometimes people, our clients, will buy a home as an interim stop measure and then buy the home they're really looking for after waiting several years to find the right one. Number 5, community interest in your property. And for those that come from outside of our community, this might feel a little bit like life under a magnifying lens. And that's one of the reasons we advise our clients who are thinking about buying here that the best way to think about it is as being a steward of an asset that really matters to the community. These homes tie to our historic past in Boulder, and the people that, not just the people that live in this neighborhood, but throughout Boulder really care about these homes, and they will be in your business when it comes time to any modifications to the property. And that's it. I hope you really enjoyed watching this video and it added value to your process of trying to understand Boulder real estate and real estate here in Mapleton Hill. I'm Osman. You can call me at 720-310-5007 if you have any questions. You're also welcome to leave feedback. Our goal is to help our clients make a smarter real estate decision, whether it's due diligence or negotiation tactics or understanding detailed information about the neighborhoods. We don't just cover Boulder and Boulder County. We have agents in Denver. We've started to branch out into the mountain resort towns. And if you think we're a good fit, don't hesitate to reach out. You will find our content not just here on YouTube, but a lot more information at houseeinstein.com. And we'll catch you next time.